So I'll give you one risk and one challenge. I would say the biggest challenge in Canada, given how strong most of our real estate sectors are these days, is actually just finding product to invest in. There is more capital out there than there is product available today in Canada. On the risk side, I would say as that demand has grown, margins around development have drastically shrunk. And with all the strength, we're still in a situation where construction costs are rising. I think we have to be a little cautious about how quickly that margin can erode given construction cost pricing and land pricing today in Canada.
So, without question, the greatest risk and challenge that I see in the 2020 real estate marketplace is number one, construction costs and trying to maintain. You may have heard that from other panelists today. There's no question that there is so much work available for trades that you have to be very, very careful to understand the cost component. And so this means innovative ways of costing your buildings and utilizing key relationships with trades that ideally you've worked with for the past number of years. I was actually with the senior management from Altus Hellier the other day, and I thought they mentioned to me something very prophetic about 2020, which is to say that if you have drawings that go out to tender, it's almost an advertisement that you don't have a trade for that given job. So Daniels has a rich building history. We've got terrific relationships, and a couple of ways in which we're choosing to understand and control this is by working with those trades, getting them involved very early and trying to ensure capacity within key trades to allow us to complete our communities on time. The second challenge, I think, is like anything else, is understanding the real estate marketplace, particularly with respect to land pricing. We need to be very, very careful on land pricing. Recent years, there's been an exponential growth in what people are expecting for their land. And, simply put, if you overpay for land, you're going to have a resultant limited ability to be able to achieve success in your community. It will limit the ability to do things like purpose-built rental or seniors housing. It will almost pigeonhole you into having to do a high-end condominium where you may not want to be at the marketplace with that. So, a couple of key inputs, land and construction costs, are something to pay attention to in 2020.
So the most significant risks and challenges in the Canadian real estate market today are clearly the uncertainty and volatility caused by geopolitics, the economy, and technological disruption, and their effect on the capital markets and the credit markets today. That uncertainty and volatility causes people to invest more slowly and in a more risk-averse way, and what we really need is capital to be coming more towards the real estate sector.
So when I look towards 2020, the risks that I see are less associated to the real estate, but more associated with the capital. We're going through an adjustment where, because Canada is so desirable from an investment perspective, there's many more funds chasing few opportunities, and they're compressing yields. But the expectations of capital, I don't believe, have adjusted to the point that companies are prepared to accept the yields that the market currently offers. So we could have a pause in the beginning of the year while capital starts to realize that expected yield of 15 is now a 12, or the 12 is now a 10. And it will happen, but it'll take a while to adjust.
Well, I'd start out by saying I heard an expression that we're in the 22nd year of a 7-year cycle. So what we are seeing is that real estate's done very well for a long period of time. So my overall view is be cautious and do a lot of due diligence on what you're going to buy. The opportunities I see are mainly in 3 cities, Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. And the asset class we like the most are multi-res and industrial. We also are a big believer in development right now because we've assembled a 24-person development team. We've got about $1 billion of development in the pipeline. So we like that asset class and we like developing properties.
We'll be keeping our eye on a couple of things. Legislative change could offer some challenges to our industry as our governments are grappling with some very challenging issues and trying to find solutions to those. And certainly the ongoing search for talent in our industry is something as well that could present some challenges at all levels in our organization as we look into 2020.